Hello and welcome to Note Investing Made Easier. Day 9 of appreciation that I'm expressing, and that entities, groups, people that have influenced my note investing career, if you will. And so today I want to give much love, much appreciation to who I call my customer, and that's the bar. Because the bar at the end of the day is the individual that is placing money in my pocket. So it's good to look at all your trading partners as customers because you want to do right by them. All the strategic partners that help you bring all these deals to the table and get them closed. But today is a day to celebrate bars. And one of the things that I learned early on is the more that you treat bars with respect and you take the time to understand their situation, the better off you are in terms of crafting a loan modification that's going to work for them and it's going to sustain and endure over the course of time. So I learned that early on, and it really has shaped my career. Now, I will say that there's always going to be lots of curveballs when I've spoken to hundreds of borrowers and done hundreds of loan modifications, and it's amazing that you hear all the stories. Hey, Sharon, Laura, and Joel, you hear, you've kind of heard it all, if you will. And I like how Deepta puts it. She says it's always one of three things. Either it has to do with they stop paying because of love, of relationship that fell through, medical, they had some type of medical situation, or employment, they lost their job or they're underemployed. And so, yes, you hear like a variation. Sometimes you hear all of those situations. But at the end of the day, if you treat the borrower with respect, you understand what they can afford financially, and you craft, win-win proposals for the borrower, give them options, that will go a long way in terms of, putting out a good loan modification that's gonna last through the test of time. And so I call this Super Bad Tuesday because it is a bar appreciation day, and that's kind of where I want to recognize bars that have really just kind of allowed my business to form and grow over the course of time. Now, it's kind of an interesting phenomenon, as of recent past few years, and that is, before it used to be, buy a lot of notes, junior liens, they were underwater. They were Chapter 7 discharged, so they had some hair on them. And you really, had to kind of fight a little bit more tooth and nail to get the loan modifications in place. And what we're seeing now is, notes are priced higher, but we're seeing a lot more payoffs. So, I'm not saying you don't have to work as hard now. You obviously do. You have to be diligent. But what I'll say is there's a little bit more sophistication to the process now that payoffs can be an option at any given time with the exit strategy for the borrower. So that is a positive. I will say that having worked out hundreds of loan modifications over the course of time, I can just tell you that probably the best thing you can do is the best thing you need to do is have systems in place. So everything needs to be done by design, not just kind of figuring it out as you go, but you need to be a project manager beyond belief. And because you're orchestrating this thing with legal, servicing, and your own outreach efforts. And the more that you're diligent and staying on top of things, the better the resolution is. Now, also, I will say one thing too is that in terms of working out notes with borrowers, I find the best thing to do is not just jump the gun and say, what can you pay me? Because you're thinking that, right? You're thinking, I need to get my money back. And what I would say is a really good approach is to understand how they got to where they got, and spend some time understanding where they are now, and understand, where, what they can do financially that's within their comfort zone, that's not going to stretch them. And from that point, you give them options is the best thing, because sometimes bars are going to hold back from you and not tell you all the money they have, not tell you all the disposable income that they can afford. So when you give them options, whereas the more they put down, the less their monthly payment is, then they just might come to the table with something that you weren't expecting. So give them that opportunity to get themselves a lower payment. And at the end of the day, treat them as you would treat a customer in any type of business setting, and you will go very far in this industry. And I know Joel Markovitz, who's on here, he has that down pat, because I know how he works with trading partners, and how he does business. So Laura, it's good to see you, and Sharon as well. So it's Super Bad Tuesday, Bar Appreciation Day. They have made my business what it is. They will make your business what you need it to be. And as the focus should always be helping the bars stay in their homes. And I'm not a believer in exiting through the property as a strategy. Yes, it happens, but you should do whatever you can do to help the bar stay in their home, if they want to stay in their home, that is, which in most cases they do. So be responsible, and it's going to take you very far in this business. Thank you.